Divine Rising, my lovelies. Welcome to a brand new episode of Collective Consciousness. My name is Tiny, I'm your host, and I'm here to welcome you to the show where we focus on expanding your consciousness. The whole purpose of this show are for individuals on their journey to self-mastery. So if that's an individual like yourself, take a moment right now, smash that subscribe button down below, and go ahead and hit the like button as well. It really helps out the channel. So what we are talking about today is going to be dissolving your ego. Now, really quick before we dive into today's topic, I actually got a note, a fact check from someone who was talking about the altars. So I just wanted to share this with you guys. There are two different perspectives and two different opinions when it comes to setting up your altar and including your own photo on the altar. The alternative perspective that was, provided to me was that when you put your own picture on the altar, then your life energy then gets absorbed and basically sucked through on that altar. So I want everyone to do their due diligence, and really thank you so much for bringing that to my attention. Everyone do your own research and really see what works best for you. Just definitely I'm presenting the information, but I don't ever want anyone to feel like this is the end all be all and the only way to do things. So if you guys do see something and you want to bring it to my attention, I really appreciate that. All right, so let's get started with today's episode. Welcome back. Okay, so today we are talking about dissolving the ego. So let's first kind of talk about what is ego, and why we should dissolve it. What's wrong with having an ego? So if we go back to basic psychology, we remember that ego is basically the image that you have of yourself, how you view yourself in your mind's eye. We have the id, the ego, and the superego, right? So the ego is basically what fuels your self-image. Now, a lot of times it's not necessarily good to have an ego or a self-image that makes you bigger than anyone else or presents you in a way that is superior to anyone else, okay? So that can be very toxic, and that can lead to a lot of toxic traits. So the reason why we want to dissolve the ego, there is a thing called the 12 universal laws. Okay, so the most famous universal law is the law of attraction. All right, the first universal law is the law of oneness. And we're going to have an episode actually next week. It's going to be a two-parter about the 12 laws of the universe. So I'm not going to get too deep into it right now, but I just want to give you kind of an idea. So the law of oneness states that we are all connected with the same matter to the same energy. Okay. We are all one, right? One love, okay? So when you really look at yourself as connected with every other being and every other living thing in the universe, then what purpose does an ego serve you? Do we follow me here? Your ego doesn't serve any purpose but for your own vanity. And that is not really a high vibrational way of, or perception of to have, okay? It's not a high vibrational way of looking and not a high vibrational perception to have, okay? So what do we do? I have an ego, but it's not like a toxic ego, right? Well, we still want to be able to dissolve that ego and really see the bigger picture here on earth, with our life's divine purpose. And that is it, right? Being able to raise the vibration and ascend and, achieve self-mastery. I mean, that is, to the fundamental of it, the purpose of being here on this planet, right? And you can disagree with me, that's fine. But that's my opinion of it. So let's talk about 5 steps to dissolving your ego. Step 1. Don't get offended by others. I know this is like a super hard thing to do because a lot of the times, like, we like to take things personally, or we feel like things might be a personal attack against us, when that's not really the case. Usually 9 times out of 10, when someone snaps on you, it's because they're having a bad day and it has nothing to do with you. You know what I mean? So really learn how to look at a situation objectively from another person's point of view and be able to assess the situation without putting yourself and your emotions into the situation. If you do this, a lot of conflicts get resolved a lot faster, and there's like no conflict to begin with because you're able to see different perspectives of the situation. Step 2, detach from your reputation. A reputation is only a representation of what others have of you in their mind. So these are like expectations that other people have based on their previous experiences with you. So when you detach yourself from the need to live up to the expectations of others, that is when you really get rid of that reputation, right? You want to be able to do things with intent and not because someone else is expecting you to. Oh, well, I always bring donuts on Friday, but I really don't have the money this week. But I really, like, it's just my reputation. Like, I don't want my coworkers to be upset because I didn't bring donuts. So you put yourself in you compromise your financial situation just to hold up the reputation of you bringing donuts to the office. You get what I mean? Like, or the reputation for winning or the reputation for success. Some of those could be very toxic traits and create a greed and a hunger for power, right? That's not necessarily good when it comes to dissolving your ego. Okay. So detach yourself to feel the need to live up to those different expectations. Number 3, know when to stop. There will be times where you may not see eye to eye with others. In situations like these, be okay with the fact that other people don't have to agree with you. It's human nature to want to be understood, understood, overstood, and accepted, right? But we can get emotional when our beliefs are challenged. So when it comes to a situation where you may disagree with someone, for example, just last night, I disagreed with a dear friend of mine regarding the vaccines and the virus and all this other stuff, right? It's okay to have a different opinion. And just being able to accept that person's opinion and not argue with them just for the sake of being right or for the sake of winning the argument, those are all ego-driven actions. Okay, we'll want to dissolve those type of actions and be okay and be comfortable accepting someone else's point of view. Okay, number 4, keep a humble heart. So you are not superior or better than anyone else. You should be able to accept when you are wrong and admit when you are wrong. It's not always about winning. Just remember that you are the only person that you're in competition with. Your best self, that's it, okay? So you should not be in competition with other people. You should not be trying to one up somebody or anything like that because, yet again, these are toxic traits. Okay, we don't want to have too much vanity in our heart. Okay, not everything is about you and the world does not revolve around you. I know that sounds harsh, but it's true. You know, the whole point of us being here is being interdependent, being able to work and live together in abundance. It's not about you specifically. You get what I mean? Okay. And the last one, number 5. Let go of control. You know, when you are in alignment, believe that the universe brings forth whatever is meant to be in your life and will remove things that are not meant to be in your life. Okay? There's a magic that exists with going with the flow of the river than going against the current. And what I mean by that is when you do align your chakras and you are in total balance with the universe, there is a certain navigation that you might not be able to perceive that the universe has in store for you to manifest or to bring forth the manifestations that you've put out there. When you allow yourself to go along with the current, then paddling against the current it creates a space where your manifestations are able to come to fruition with like maximum speed. Okay, we know we don't want to put a time frame on manifestations, but when you are in alignment and you allow the universe to do what it do, then opportunities and situations present themselves to you. And that's what I mean by magic. Okay, so I want us for this week to really take these 5 principles and focus on dissolving our egos. If you have a situation this week where you might have a disagreement with a coworker, family, friend, or you might not see eye to eye to someone, or maybe even if it's someone that cuts you off on the road, whatever it may be, I want you to take a moment and remove your ego from the situation and be able to look at that situation objectively and let go of the emotion that that person may have caused you. When you are able to dissolve your ego in this way, you create a power for yourself that no one else can affect. Okay, because now you have full control over your actions and no one else can make you feel any kind of way. No one else can piss you off. No one else can make you feel sad. No one else can make you feel hurt, right? Only you have the control to do that because you have put your ego aside and you're able to navigate without the emotions and the perception of the ego. All right, that is all I have for you guys today. There's a couple of announcements that I wanted to include before we wrap it up. I wanted to say that I have released consciousness boxes. I'm super excited about it. It is like a perfect little starter kit just to get you started with crystal work, with saging, with journaling and healing, and really embracing your consciousness journey. So what it has a hand-carved wooden box made from India. There is a leather journal that goes along with it with a collective conscious insignia on it, a pen to go along with the journal. That way you can record your awakening experience. And there are 4 crystals in each set. And there's little info cards to let you know how to use the crystals, what the crystals are, and how to cleanse them. And there's also sage and little lavender incense cones in each box. So I'm going to go ahead and put a picture at the end. It is $44 for each box. If you do need it shipped, we have shipping available. So definitely DM me, let me know, follow me on social media if this is also something you're interested in, and you can let me know on social media too. That is a great way for us to connect. And I believe that is it. Thank you so much, everyone. I love every single one of you. Asè and Namaste. Say